You know who's with us right now?
Who's that?
I would argue Alex Rodriguez's biggest supporter here on WFAN.
Really?
I swear to you. And I believe more so than even Francesa. I know Francesa had that big interview, but I sat with this guy for many, many years, and all he did was pay respect to A-Rod. And he was the one guy who in 2015, when he was coming back, guaranteed to all of us, this guy's hitting 30 home runs and driving in 100 runs. So what would an A-Rod day be without one of his biggest supporters? And he's a Met fan, the great Joe Benigno. Joe, how you doing, bro?
Joe B.
I'm good, man. First of all, A-Rod should have been a Met, as we all know. and we want to thank Steve Phillips for that. You know, God forbid we give him the suite he wants, you know. Can't do that. By the way, I got my little A-Rod statue here. I don't know if you guys could see it.
Nice.
Love A-Rod. Big fan of A-Rod. It's an absolute – first of all, there's no question the Yankees should retire his number. And as CeCe said, so should the Mariners. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Look, it's you know where I am with the steroid guys.
Yep.
They all should be in. The fact that Barry Bonds and you know I hate Roger. I mean, you can't hate a guy more than I hate Roger Clemens. Okay, and
it's just one moment. It's just one moment.
No, he's one of the.
He's do one bad at your guy.
Excuse me, Tiki. He's one of the biggest. He's one of the biggest asses of all time. But with that said, okay. The guy clearly belongs in the Hall of Fame. 7 Cy Young Awards. Obviously, Barry Bonds is the greatest offensive player I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I've seen everybody.
Yeah.
I saw Mickey. I saw Willie. We go right on down. All the great players. Frank Robinson, Willie McCovey, you know, Clemente. I saw them all. This guy is the greatest offensive player of all time. So all of them should be there. And the fact that A-Rod is not in. Come on, you're talking about one of the greatest players that ever played. You know, he arguably is the greatest shortstop of all time, and people forget this with A-Rod. Okay, so this guy comes to the Yankees, and he's the best shortstop in baseball when he goes there. And what does he do? He says, "Okay, Derek Jeter's here. It's his team." And I know they had their issues. We know that. Whatever was over women, whatever things that was said, they had their problems. Okay, but what does A-Rod do? He comes to the Yankees, says, Derek, you're the shortstop, I'll play third. And not only does he play third, but he becomes like a gold glove third baseman. All right? So people forget this. He won a championship with the Yankees. Let's not forget it. I love Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame as well. It's a joke he's not in there. He was the best player in baseball for 5 years. But the bottom line is this. He didn't win a championship with the Yankees. And I'm not blaming Mattingly for that, but he didn't. This guy did. And he was phenomenal in that playoff series. He won two MVPs with the Yankees, 696 career home runs. Come on, all right? Can we stop with the nonsense already?
And the longer they go without winning a title, Joe, I think the more impressive it becomes.
Right. The bigger deal it becomes. But look, one of the biggest problem to me, you know how I feel about the baseball writers? Okay, they all hate me outside of maybe John Harper and John Heyman. You know how I feel about them, all right? I pull no punches. They're all on the freaking moral high ground. You know, they're all smarter than we are. You know, because they never did anything in their life, okay?
Right.
All right? And the fact that these guys that did the steroids, A-Rod and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Manny Ramirez, and we go right on down the line, put Mark McGwire in there too. We could, please, all right? Every one of these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. It's a joke they're not in there. And here's the other thing that bothers you too, really. Let's be honest. There's guys that are in the Hall of Fame now who definitely did steroids. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of it is, do they love you? Do they like you? You know, Big Papi. Oh, Big Papi. We all love Big Papi. So what? He was in the Mitchell Report. He's Big Papi. Come on.
Yeah, he's a hero, right?
He's in. Come on. He's in. A-Rod? Nah. Manny Ramirez? Nah.
Yeah. Joe, how do you come to really love A-Rod? You're a Met fan, and what we're talking about today, most of our callers is there were Yankee fans who he helped bring them a championship, and so they'll never forget him.
Yeah, well, because I especially guys that get hosed. Guys that get hosed, Tiki.
Yeah.
And Evan knows this.
Yep.
I become very, very benevolent to these kind of guys. You know, that's why I never loved Carlos Beltran, okay? And Evan knows this. When he was a Met, I was very critical of him. We could go on and on. But after he was absolutely singled out for the ridiculous Houston cheating scandal, okay? And everybody else basically got away with it but Beltran. Now I love the guy. I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy got hosed.
Yeah, he did.
And I think A-Rod clearly is a guy that's been hosed, right? That's why I hated Barry Bonds. Now I love the guy.
Right.
You know, I got a statue of Barry Bonds downstairs, too. I mean, I love him. You know what I mean? No, I'll never have a statue of Roger Clemens downstairs.
No, he's the one you can't.
Even though he does belong in the Hall of Fame, that's not happening.
How did you,
just go play around the golf with him. You'll be all right. You'll love him after.
I don't know.
You think so?
After 18 holes.
Yeah.
Have you played? Tiki, have you played with him?
I have not, but I've hung out with him multiple times. We used to do Thuzio events with him. And
he's a good guy, Clemens?
He's fun as hell. And he sings karaoke, drinks beer.
The idea of Joe and Clemens becoming friends actually kind of bothers me. I don't want to see that.
I don't know if that's cool.
That might be my life's work. I might have to try to get that done.
Barry Bonds, yes.
Go down to Tampa.
Barry Bonds, I'm in.
I'll get
I'm in.
You and Rondé and a round of golf with Clemens, and you'll be straight as right as rain.
Can you imagine me playing golf with you, Rondé, and Clemens?
Just something. I'd pay to watch that.
Man, oh man, that would be pretty cool.
The one thing that I remember, I don't know how much you remember, because man, you were on the radio here at the station, still are for so many years. But I remember going into 2015, how confident you were that A-Rod coming off that suspension was going to have a big year. And everybody disagreed. You're wrong. He's done. He's finished. I disagreed with you.
Right.
And of all the things you've said on the radio, you nailed that one as well as anybody.
Yeah.
How the hell did you know that? Why did you think A-Rod at 39, after a year of missing baseball, was going to come back and hit 33 home runs the way he did?
Well, because it was an easy call, bro. I mean, again, we're talking about one of the all-time great players that ever played the game. I mean, we could get on him all we want. The steroids, knocking the thing with Bronson Arroyo in the playoffs, all of this insanity. We could go on and on. He's one of the greats ever. And when you're that great, and what happened to him happened, now he comes back with a chip on his shoulder.
Right.
Now you're bringing back one of the all-time greats with something to prove. All right? So, I mean, to me, it was an easy call that he was going to do that. I mean, when you're dealing with that type, that kind of a guy.
No, look, we're celebrating A-Rod because Sean won this pickleball tournament.
Sean and I made a bet, and he won it. And
is Marash your big Yankee? Marash, you're a big A-Rod guy?
But you got to think about this.
Yes.
Where is he?
This is why Sean
is
the perfect advocate for A-Rod because he's of that age
right.
where the older ones, like the early Yankee championships, they're not fresh to him.
Yeah.
This one's fresh to him.
Those were my kids. This is my only adulthood Yankee championship.
Right.
And, Joe, you know this. I mean, you talk about all the time being long and starved. Think about this today. How long a drought have we had about any team having a championship? Yeah. A-Rod is punished, not just for all the other nonsense, but punished because he came post-dynasty, and we expected more. If anybody like A-Rod won a singular championship for this city and he was the best player that carried them, it wouldn't even be a question we'd honor him.
I also think he gets a little bit of a bad rap as being kind of the poster child, if you will, for what happened against the Red Sox.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I think that's something that, is held against him.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm very, very happy that you are a big A-Rod guy. I got to tell you that.
Yeah.
A lot of people my age and younger are, Joe.
They should be. I mean, like I said, come on. The guy's one of the great players. And like I said, the fact what he did, because like I said, he was the best shortstop in baseball. And you can make a case he's the greatest shortstop of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly the greatest hitting shortstop that there ever was. And the fact that he moved to third for Jeter and played third like he was Greg Nettles in the old days with the Yankees, tells you all you need to know.
Right, for the sake of winning, too. All the guy wanted to do was win a championship.
Come on.
And then he won. And that's
And
really
then he
all that
won.
matters.
The one thing I really upset with, that he never got that 700 home run. Well, what did he hit, 696?
696, yeah.
It was because his last year. I mean, he was 40, and he only played 65
games. Well,
games.
I mean, look, if he didn't get suspended for that year, he would have.
Oh, yeah.
And also, the Yankees didn't want him to hit the 700 home run. That was the other thing.
No,
I think there
you're
were
right.
bonuses involved. They didn't want it to
They
happen.
didn't want him to do it.
No doubt.
They never wanted him
money.
to do it.
Come
You're
on.
100% right. By the way, the beard, bro. Let me tell you, bro. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yes.
I'm telling you again. Okay, and I pray that I'm wrong about this.
Yeah.
There is no way that Pete Alonso is coming back to the Mets.
I don't say that.
I'm telling you, this Stearns doesn't want him.
The man from Milwaukee.
They're either going to trade him at the deadline if the team stinks, or they're going to let him walk.
By the way,
so get ready for it now. Typical Mets. I know it's a different regime. Thank you so much, Steve. We thought the Wilpons were gone. I'm telling you right now.
By the way, in honor,
get ready for it. I pray. Bro, I pray I'm wrong.
No, me too. In honor
of
A-Rod, if you recall, when he came in and did that interview with Francesa,
yes.
he wouldn't call Bud Selig by his name. He would just refer to him as the man from Milwaukee.
The man from Milwaukee.
That's what we're calling David Stearns until Pete Alonso signs that extension. He's just man from Milwaukee.
Well, you're never going to say your general manager's name ever.
That's right.
I have a big problem with David Stearns, and I said this before. I think they brought him in so that Cohen could run the Mets like a small market team.
Wow.
He has no desire to sign Pete Alonso. I really believe that. They tried to trade him last year, no matter how much of a spin they tried to put on what they were doing there. And I'm telling you, man, this is going to be right in line of Seaver going and Strawberry going and Wheeler going and everybody else that came between.
You better be wrong because I'm going to lose my mind.
Bro, get ready. And I'm telling you, I can't wait. What spin are the Mets going to put on it when this happens? And like I said, I pray I'm wrong.
Me too.
But I'm telling you, man, I got a bad feeling about it.
I hope you're wrong. Joe, we appreciate you coming on this wonderful day. Thank you, sir.
A-Rod. Put him in the freaking Hall of Fame. Let's go.
Thank you,
He's in our Hall of Fame, Joe. Appreciate you, brother.
God bless him. All right, guys. All the love.
The great Joe Benigno.